While you're contemplating this slide and thinking about your particular situation, I want to talk real quickly about what we've done locally that may or may not be of a benefit to you. But through the Chrismont Emergency Management Agency, we have started an incident management team for within our 2 counties that we can be called upon to assist the incident commander. We are not there to take over. We won't take over, but we can provide some of these positions that are on this slide for that incident commander. And we have done that several times in the last couple of years. We've had some large scale incidents that have required us to be called. Multi-agency, multi-county type incidents that overwhelms the incident commander very, very quickly. So we can come as a team, and the 4 of us that are teaching this class are all on that team, but we have people that aren't even in the fire service on that team. We have a retired police chief. We have a former head of the public health agency, county public health agency that's on the team. Our chief of our ground search rescue team is a member of the incident management team, and we can come in and fulfill some of these roles. So it doesn't always have to be done by your department. Don't be afraid to look and think outside the box, and perhaps develop a regional incident management team for yourself to be able to utilize. And again, we're a resource to the incident commander. We will not become the incident commander, but we will assist them in any way that we possibly can. So hopefully you've had a little bit of chance to think about your answers on this, who you're going to frequently work with on quite honestly any size incident. And I can't stress enough that every incident should have an incident commander. Depending upon the size, you may expand the incident command system into these particular sections. But at a minimum, every scene needs to have an incident commander, and I cannot stress that enough. So talk real quickly on demobilization. Again, myself as an incident management team member at our hog confinement fire. We had a large hog confinement fire, 27 agencies, I don't remember how many counties that responded to this. And the incident commander, who is chief of the department that the hog confinement was his jurisdiction, and he is a member of our incident management team. He came to us and asked us to help with demobilization. So we had to take a look at who was the first ones there, who's came the furthest, what equipment they brought, what do we still need. We were at that point, we had a few spot fires and was doing some overhaul, assisting with getting some of the hogs that were survivable out of the building. And so we needed to look at and start getting those people that had came the longest or had been there the longest back to their home stations so that they could be ready for any response within their response area. So demobilization is very important, and the incident commander needs to be kept apprised. Doesn't necessarily have to do it him or herself, but if they delegate that, you need to keep the incident commander apprised of what's going on. We need to talk a little bit about special situations that can happen. An incident within an incident. For instance, during a tornado response, we have a structure fire, an incident within an incident. How do you maintain control of that, I guess is the question. And again, I want you to think about your individual response areas, your agencies, your departments, your districts. So if you have an incident within an incident, pre-plan and be ready for that. Is there a death or injury involved? Is the coroner going to be involved? Is it a crime scene? Injury involved? Or you better be ready for IDOL and possibly NIOSH to come in and start inspections They're going to ask for training reports. They're going to ask for a whole lot of things. So again, pre-plan, be ready for that. What if it's a result of a response? What if, God forbid, a water tanker overturns and you have a death of a firefighter during a major response? That's going to very quickly overwhelm the incident commander, and it could physically and emotionally impact them, because particularly in small communities, we know each other's families, we know everybody in the community, and so you need to be ready for that. What other circumstances may have caused it? Do you need to do an internal accident investigation? And anytime there's an accident or an incident, it needs to be investigated, hopefully just internally, so that it doesn't happen again. There's been disciplinary action. Is there a need for disciplinary action? Negligence happens. It can cause accidents. Accidents happen, and needs to be investigated, but probably discipline doesn't need to be taken. No action. However, if it's gross negligence, you need to look at it very, very seriously and take care of it immediately, not wait and allow a situation to get worse than it already is. Do you have a PIO? Is your event going to be newsworthy? How many news agencies? From how big of a distance away? Are you going to assign a PIO? Do you have a PIO? Do you have protocol for a PIO? All these things need to be taken into consideration. And is it a big enough event that it's above the decision-making authority of the subordinates that have been assigned the different roles in the incident management system? So lots of things to think about. The key is to pre-plan and train together with the agencies that are going to be responding with you. Every incident commander should have a toolkit. These can include field operations guides. You need to have checklists, list of objectives. You may need a sample delegation of authority, because the mayor ultimately is responsible for, if it's a city department, is ultimately responsible for fiscal matters. And so there can be some questions of delegation of authorities. You should have a book with the copies of the incident command system forms that we've been talking about throughout this course. It's always nice to have access to a computer program. There's a lot of great programs out there right now that is available, that we can do many things within the incident command system right there on the computer. You need to have emergency contact information on all your personnel, and make sure that your mutual aid partners have that information as well. And again, if you've got access to computers and you have them in your vehicles, that's great. If not,